Good morning out there, out there, from in here, Santa Land, in here, out here. Thanks to Julie, of course. Julie's over there on the other couch with Vivian. Hi, Vivian. Oh, she's not there. We've had our walk. We have her nose. Slurp. Another slurp. Slurp with me. Come on. How are you all with the holidays? Is it okay? Kind of hard. Kind of good. I always thought that I just sent a couple messages to some people I care about saying my belief in ubiquity of sorrow and that joy is from within. So while you're sorrowful, you gotta love them sugar cookies. Gotta love them sugar cookies. Look at the lights. That was what my father always said. We'd drive around little town. Look at the lights. He'd say, look at the lights. Look at the lights. Okay. When we were little kids, it was like this. When we were teenagers, it was Dad saying, look at the line. And then now we're looking at the lights again. Big power outage last night. If you went to our annual landscapes reading, I hope you had a good time. I am so dazed by how terrific those poets are and how different, incredibly different they are from one another, and how it's such a beautiful example of let's find our delight in what's different about one another instead of, it's okay to always look for what we have in common, but what do we not have in common? Avoiding the politics, please. I don't want to do with that anymore. I don't want to go with any side unless it cares about the people, which is what our government was supposed to be about, caring about the people. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now it's sort of life, every once in a while there's some liberty, and let's see what we can take away from you so you can be unhappy. Food, medicine, let's see, what else? Making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Big disappointment at the people who didn't come last night. Sent out so many invitations, and it always feels, for me, it's inviting your friends over for something you want to give them. And then when they don't come, and they don't tell you why they didn't come, or they tell you there was something else they chose to attend, it hurts, and I'm like a papa. I've got these wonderful poets that I get to work with, and I'm like, Papa, you hurt my kids. Probably don't think it's important. But oh my goodness, they were wonderful. And so, again, so varied and funny and serious, and yeah. When I was a little kid, 4, let's say, I would say, and I was falling asleep on Christmas Eve, and then I woke. I thought, whoa, wait a minute, whoa, and I called, Mom, Dad, Mom, and they came up to the bedroom. What? And I said, well, I don't really like the idea of a strange man walking around in our house. I'd sat on his lap. I don't know. Our dear friend Jenny Makita gave a beautiful homily on joy on Sunday, and Julie did a beautiful job with the announcements. Julie's that person that without whom nothing would happen. It would all fall apart, and she doesn't get in front to take a bow. She should. I'm the one that gets to love her every day, but you know, she's just remarkable. It's always behind the scenes. No, I'll clean the kitty litter. Jeez. Well, last night we had the big event. Dear Robbie Hart was our final poet, and she was reading her beautiful second poem. Yeah, everybody read too. And she was reading her second poem, and the power went out here. Boom! Everything went off. And then with one of the wonderful things of Zoom, it didn't go off in everybody else's, so Robbie kept going. Julie, behind the scenes, contacted the dear, wonderful, magical sparkle of Annie Volkema. Did I say T? Annie, sorry, I don't know where that came from. Annie Volkema, and again, Julie behind the scenes leaped 8 feet in the air when I said Volkema. And Annie closed the show, and we didn't know what happened, and we had no power, and then we had the most wonderful couple. Did you ever have those, when the power goes out? And Julie, gets some candles, finds her way through the house, get candles lit. What does she do? She makes popcorn, because the stove worked. And we had popcorn and candles. It was just marvelous. And then the power came back on sooner than we thought. But we never got to say goodnight to the people on the show. Yeah. Well, that's, welcome to the Sentimentalist. How's that? Look at that. First thing on the list. Do I remember it? Hi, Mark. You probably got mine now. Ben, keep improving. Mariana, wow. Hang in there, keep improving. Vivi is over here, just really up on not one, 2 pillows, and very pleased to be there. I think Meredith's coming over after school today to decorate some more packages. See, we wrap the packages in brown paper. Brown paper packages tied up with string. And then we draw on them. And we have a few more to go. And I think Meredith's coming over today. And of course she puts us to shame with what she draws on them. I draw things like people look at it and go, oh, now what would that be? I wasn't late for yoga yesterday, but it was filled, so I had to find a spot, and I fell over twice. So much for old man balance, huh? Well, this was the poem I got a request from my dear gang of landscapers, and this is the poem I was going to finish up our evening with. And it's a poem, I want to say I mean it. It's about this guy who lives alone, and it's about key thing is how he starts every day. And then he goes through his day, and then it's ready to start his day the next day. But it's how he starts his day. And that's what it's called. Dailiness. Dailiness. And it's dedicated to Nancy Willard. And if you don't know Nancy Willard's books, gotta know them. Caldecott Medal for a visit to William Blake's Inn. Children's books, adult books, poetry books. She had puppet theaters and dollhouses all through her house. She wore peasant dresses. and she would draw an angel in every book she signed. She was had a touching, loving impact on our daughter Meredith. Yeah. Dailiness, for Nancy Willard. This morning, after the angels had put on their scarves and mittens and said their goodbyes and headed out into the surprise of the first snow, he put away the recipe for crepes, washed the plates, the other dishes, silverware, put the butter in cold water, and poured a second cup of coffee. The moon was not yet set at 8:30, and it made him remember how he never wanted to leave his grandmother, her house, her porch, her lap where she would read to him, often a chapter from Moby Dick or a comic, Felix the Cat, Buck Rogers, an Uncle Wiggily story, something from the King James Bible. Today he knew what lay ahead. He would feed the fish in his little pond, cut back what had died in the flower bed, get pumpernickel bread and orange marmalade, then the mail. Maybe stop at Jane's Depot and buy some new warm socks. And he needed to decide what book to read next and what to have tomorrow for breakfast when the angels would be back around 7:30. Thanks for being with me. Take care. Try to be cheerful. Look at the lights. Look at the lights.